The business.
Bring it back. Bring it back. Bring it back.
The business. The business. The business.
All right. Hopefully you guys can hear me this time. Let me put these headphones on. Okay. Man, I am so happy to be back and talking to y'all. I know it's been so long since I've done a video with my voice on it. It's been a crazy summer traveling and trying to get back out amongst, the world still being super, super crazy. Business is booming. Things are going great. Man, what can I say? I mean, this is what happens when you continue to, let God do, fill in the blanks in your life. After reaching 100,000 subscribers, it was just kind of like one of those things to me. Like, okay, I did that. That was such a goal. Like, what's next, right? Like, what is going to be my next goal? And of course, YouTube is just a part of my overall brand. And, for all of those who don't know everything else that I do, I am a music producer, songwriter, first and foremost. And then from there, I'm a professor, over here at Morehouse College here in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm an educator. And, even more than that, I'm a businessman with my business partner, Kennard Garrett, and we have Westview Drive, and that has a lot of things going on. So sorry for the wait. But I am back and trying to answer some questions to make sure that I can provide the best content as we move forward. So let me shout out everybody in the chat one time and let's get this thing going right now. So, man, okay. Yo, my man Brandon Rico, what's up, brother? That's my brother right there, man. If y'all ain't checking out his channel, make sure you go check it out. And we're going to be doing some collaborations on both of our channels real soon. So get looking for that. Ms. Mastias, I'm sorry for anybody that I mispronounced your name. I'm not the best with pronunciation, but thank you for the super chat. I'm going to get, it says, I love your style and your thoughtful insights. Thank you so much for that. And, for me, I'm just trying to be myself on this channel. So many people have asked about certain things when I'm going to do more of this content, more of that content. My biggest thing now is just to do me, and give you guys a little bit of, or a lot of what I'm into. And so, yeah, you're going to be seeing so much more. But let me give some more shout outs and we'll get into these questions. Nate Dixon, what's going on? Mark Sequence, what's happening? Man, Tristan Stokes, what's going on, family? Let's see here. Benjamin Since Birth, what's up, my guy? Seth Martin, Malibu. Let me know where y'all at, too. Cali's in here. New Jersey's in here. Man, Terrence Crosby, what's up, bro? Master Chef Trucking, what's good, bro? Man, my man Chord Master, that's my man there. Man, what's going on? RV, what's going on? Just my opinion, what's happening? Hopefully everybody is in here and having a good week so far. DJ M Easy T TV, what's up, man? Cuddy, that's my man for real. If y'all ain't checking out Cuddy on Instagram, K Fresh Music, make sure you check out my man Cuddy. We've been down for a long time. So yeah, and Blaze Reeves, what's up? Jacksonville tapping in. What's happening? Keon Brown, what's good, big homie? Man, it's just it's amazing to be back, and it's always crazy to feel the energy when I do it live. I get a little anxious, and so that's why I started about a minute early. But Sergi J, Reno, Nevada, what's going on? Tay Cash Productions, yo, what's going on to everybody? Jabari DeBenz, what's happening? Man, I think it's been crazy for North Seattle, Alton, Roundtree, what's good? Seattle's my hometown. Gabriel Alanis from Chicago, Polo Bear from Vegas, yo Sirs from Jersey. What's going on to everybody? Man, I want to answer as many questions in the time that we have now, and so let's just kind of get this thing rocking and rolling. I'm going to put on my trusty glasses for those who are asking where I did get these nice spectacles. They are from Warby Parker, and that is not sponsored. Yeah, but I wanted to make sure I could see everything. Because my contact fell out earlier today and I can't find it. So that's just what it is for me. Disco Wolf, what's up, man? So listen, I'm going to go through the comments from Instagram, the comments from my YouTube channel, of course, my DM, and technically T, what's up, bro? JMC, greetings as well from Germany, man. Shout out to you as well. Like I said, questions from IG, questions from the chat, as well as from, the post that I did here on YouTube. So first and foremost, let me, my man Chord Master asked me a few days ago, he's like, yo, how's life been with this M1 iPad so far? Has there been any noticeable improvements to your workflow aside from the display? So listen, this is my M1. Yes, my fully maxed out I wouldn't say fully maxed out, but it is a 1 terabyte, 12.9 version of this iPad Pro, M1 version. And I'm going to be completely real with y'all. This, I love this, the way this thing works and the power and the processing in it. I really was debating for just a small moment to see if I was going to get the 11-inch because I really like that size. But I'll tell you right now, I love the screen on this, but it's not necessary for me. It's not necessary for me. Now that I've had it for, almost about 2 months now. I could tell you that the fact that I wanted this new screen to be able to, get a better representation of the colors and the things of that nature when I'm, doing things like this, and I'm working on my, my edits on my videos on LumaFusion, all of this stuff, man. I'm trying my best to make sure it looks great. But honestly, I'll be honest, it's just one of those things that, I don't need because I already have my colors and my settings dialed in. So I could have used the 11-inch. Now, from a power perspective, a lot of people have been saying, yeah, I mean, the RAM is crazy. None of my, my apps need to refresh. Everything is really good as far as, adding plugins in my DAWs and, multiple layers in LumaFusion. That was never even a problem, even with last year and years before. So the main apps that I've been using have been working extremely good. But is there any major differences that I'd say from last year for the, this M1 iPad Pro? No, I'll be honest with y'all. It's I'm still waiting to see that breakthrough app or something that's going to show me, or even an update to some of the apps that we have that's going to allow me to see that much more power that's in this device. So do I regret buying it? Not at all. I love having the latest tech, but man, that's where we at. I'm gonna take one question from these other sources, then one question from the chat, and I'll go back and forth like that. Nate Dixon asks, my thoughts on the MK Sensation Extreme, and I have not played with that yet, and so I don't have any thoughts on that. And I want to make sure that when I do something, that I can give you a positive kind of review on those things, and I have not played or touched with it yet. Brant Collins, what's up, bro? Thank you for joining in, man. And so, yeah, for those who are looking into these iPad Pros, specifically if you had a 2020 and even the 2018s, they're still working extremely great, and I have not seen that big of a jump for anybody that had a 2018 or 2020. To warrant, another, $1,500, $2,000 purchase. And so, yeah, that's just my thoughts. And I'll do, a lot of these things will be coming in future videos where I go a little bit in. Yeah, so, Danielle O asks, as an M1 owner, let me say they are future-proofing for Logic and Final Cut when it comes to iPad, in my opinion. And I believe that as well. You know what I mean? I do think that, with the updates that are coming to LumaFusion, which we will touch on, and the idea of just making sure that you have as much RAM, I hope that they are going to bring in, more powerful apps like I've talked about before. But I'll tell you this, everything that I've been doing has been working great, and I haven't had any hangups. I haven't had any real, apps crashing or anything like that. So I guess you could say a little bit like it's working really, really well. But has it transitioned my workflow to something different? No. And so there's that. I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna go into my IG comments as well. Seth Marsalis asked, how do you name, organize your ideas that haven't been used for a particular project or artist yet? I'm believing that he's talking about, musical compositions and tracks and things of that nature, right? So for years, let me show you guys this. For years, I've been using a system based off of the type of sound or type of DAW that I'm using. So if I go into my beats, let me do this by name, and let me go up to my beats folder. You can see how I've organized this. It's basically where I have it, and it's Beatmaker, new Beatmaker collection. Of course, that is, tracks that I've made in Beatmaker. And then if you go in here, it's just numbered. Beatmaker 5, 6, 7, 8, joint, whatever joint it is. I do that so I don't get caught up in sometimes when you name records, you get passionate about it and you want to hold on to certain tracks. And so probably for the last 12, 15 years, I've been naming tracks just like this, whether it's, new Logic collection. And that's when I was in Logic, and so, all the tracks that I did in Logic, you see that, like, it'll just keep going. And I just make a number out of them. And so that's how I organize. If I was just doing stuff in Machine back in the day, I would do that. If I did things based off of the location, like I had a studio out here in Atlanta called Space Studio, so I had new Space Jams. If I was, I had the, new Cube, was when I was working in Cubasis. So all of that, hey, it's just, that's kind of where I'm at with naming things, not getting so caught up in it. Brant Collins with the super sticker, $5. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Cuddy said he got that from me. I appreciate that too. Listen, I mean, the biggest thing is to get out the way of your own head, and it does help. I mean, let me be clear. When sending tracks to specific artists or songwriters, if you have a theme or an idea about that song or where you want that composition or beat to go, it might be good for you to name it what you feel like it feels like. Because that can help people kind of get an idea of how to write or what to write about. But for me, I didn't want to get too romantic about the music and just keep moving forward, especially if I'm just trying to catalog tracks. So that was that. Let me get back to the chat and let's keep pushing. Tony Jacobson, thank you for jumping in. Thank you for saying what's up. Man, Chord, listen, those LumaFusion updates, I know. Listen, let's jump into that. Actually, let me answer a question from JMC. You heard something if Intua is working on Beatmaker 3 updates or even Beatmaker 4. And honestly, I've been asking them about that, and they said they have been working on updates. I don't have any clue about Beatmaker 4. But, when I go in and I look at the best DAWs for, for the iPad in 2021, Beatmaker 3 is still up there, and it's pretty solid. It's really solid for this iPad Pro that I have here, the M1. I've been, layering plugins after plugins, and it is just holding it down like a champ. So, I'm really interested to see what Intua can do with Beatmaker 4, or at least some updates. I would love to see them do little things so that we might be able to have, what LumaFusion did, right? Or LumaTouch did with LumaFusion 3.0, and be able to have things where you can run some of your sounds and things like that off of a hard drive. I would like to see keyboard support for, your Magic keyboards and stuff like that. So, I could press play, do other things with shortcuts and keyboard shortcuts. I would like to see those updates so it would be kind of brought up to the speed of where other apps are now. But, as a DAW, it's still one of the best to me and for the iPad. And so, yeah, I don't know. That's all I got, JMC. That's all I got, man. Yeah, man, let me keep going. Akeem Simpson, what's going on, man? He said, how do you feel about playing keys into Blox Wave via audio bus? And so there's two things. Like when I use Blox Wave, I definitely try my best to not get too caught up in staying in that one app. Because for me, using something like Blox Wave, I have had playing chords, doing melodies inside of Blox Wave. The biggest thing for me is that I just sometimes when I want to create and there's only these 8 pads that you can use to be able to get your ideas out. Of course, there's different banks and things like that. But, I love using Blox Wave with AUM. And so I'll usually do my drums like you guys maybe have seen in my silent beat making series. Man, and then from there, I'll export these ideas from Blox Wave, and then I'll put them into AUM, and that's kind of how I start to flesh out my chords, my chord progressions, and my layers and things like that. So that's kind of how I do that, and I haven't been using Audio Bus really as of late because I've been using more of AUM. So that's what that is, Akeem. You know what I mean? And so let me see who else is in the chat. Say what's going on. Yeah, and just making sure that, I'm doing as much. Wow, Steve Steve, always showing up for your boy, Steve Pammon. Thank you, man. He says, my guy keeps shining. And have you ever thought about developing your own DAW plugins or apps? So yes, when I look at what's necessary for the evolution of what's happening with iOS, and iPadOS, I truly think that it's time for an app that can combine certain things. And so I don't have all the expertise I need to get with some developers to bring in an app that resembles what you can do mixing wise in Cubasis, right? What you can do production wise in Beatmaker 3, and then what you can do idea wise with Blocks, Waves, and AUM. Those are my main things. So if I want to mix a record, if I want to go in deep with sounds and try to get something ready for a release, I'm going to take the files and bring it into Cubasis 3. That's what I do. If I want to start creating a track like I would in Logic, or like I did in Reason back in the day, I would use Beatmaker and Beatmaker 3. And if I want ideas and just kind of get my ideas flowing, I use AUM and Blocks Wave. The problem is, all three of them, they work well, but there's not one that can do all three. And so if any developers want to start talking about, that would be a very, very long process to get something that, could be amazing. But I am not, don't count me out on that, because I would really like to see something like that. That's why I would love to see something like Logic for everything. Yeah. Chord Master, hit him with the super chat as well. Wow, thank you, brother. He says here, super appreciative of your content, bro. It's been so impactful for me and my content creation journey. And I truly appreciate that, bro. And here's the deal. Like, I've never been one to take myself that seriously. I've always wanted to be as transparent to you guys as possible about my journey, about the things that I go through as a content creator, as somebody who, struggles just as much as you do with, comparison syndrome, with burnout, with trying to make sure that you're captivating your audience and your community. Man, I mean, this has been a journey that I definitely know has changed my life for the better. And, meeting so many great folks online and turning them into powerful relationships, even though I haven't met a lot of people in person, it's been amazing over the last 4 years. So, don't count out your journey. Don't count out what's going on in your life. And the one thing that I've learned to be my mantra, the thing that I've talked a lot about on my Patreon channel recently is, less fear, more patience. Less fear, more patience, because a lot of us stop what we're doing, don't get to where we want to get to because we're fearful, and we let go. And and if you're patient enough to understand that these things can truly happen and change your life, and know that it's going to take some time, you'll get to where you need to go. So less fear, more patience. So yeah, let's get back to these questions. I see it's going crazy. Man. Ryan Tross, wouldn't add in Koala. Yes, I'm sorry. Koala is a definite must for me as well. I don't know why. I think I haven't used Koala in about a month because I've been focusing on the other apps. But Koala is such a powerful app, and the developer there, he's killing it. And the community that Koala is building is insane. And so for anybody that is looking more for the quick way to kind of get some dope ideas from any device, right? Whether it's your Mac, your iPad, your phone, Koala is definitely the one. And so, yeah, I'm sorry. I definitely would add Koala to the list. Blocks Wave over Koala, it's a toss-up for me. I like being able to have loops, but I also like to be able to chop things and do things the way I just have multiple tools in my tool belt when it comes to music production. And that's one of the things you should try more than anything is to, if you're really efficient in one specific DAW, you should definitely go and try to do things in another DAW just to see if you can pick up a new skill. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Bloxways versus Koala, I can't necessarily say one's better than the other for me. But let's talk a little bit about this LumaFusion 3.0 update, because it's just insane how well LumaTouch has done with updating their apps and giving you so much. I'm going to do a full review on this, so be on the lookout for that. But man, when I tell you the things that really, really helped me out with 3.0, is one, the ability to run my files off of my little T5 drive, and I have the T5 drives, not the T7. That's just the ones that work well for the iPad. So between that and being able to really start to tweak your audio, this has been a game changer for being able to have the graphic equalizers, right? All of this to be able to use. And look out for my preset pack coming soon for LumaFusion for audio files. That's going to be coming real soon as well. But the ability to use third-party plugins is crazy, because if you're into music production and you're into editing video using things like LumaFusion, and being able, if you're into purchasing a lot of AUV3 plugins like I have, being able to use plugins like Channel Strip or Mixbox or Rough Rider Compress, some of these the adverbs, all of these ways that you can use your normal effect plugins inside LumaFusion has killed it for me. And so I'm loving being able to dial in my sounds, my ideas, my audio, and get it so that I don't have to take it. So what I usually do, like this is my latest silent beat making episode, right? This is kind of how I have it set up. And what I'll do is, if you can see this last line in green right here, this is the final track. So what I did was I chopped it up so that I had everything working towards, I always, pulled it out as far as I could possibly pull it out. And then I would make, a cut on the beat, so the beat would be on point. So I'm always looking at the waveforms. And then when it's all done, I make sure it sounds good, but I keep, the audio levels kind of low and kind of simple. And what I've been doing over the years is just exporting my file into Cubasis, and then bringing a mastering kind of plugin, and then bringing it back as an audio file. And that's what you see here, is this list audio file, so that it sounds as good as possible. And that's just an extra step that I like to take. But now that you can do, and I really like the Waves plugins inside of Cubasis 3. So, but there are some really good standalone AUV3 plugins that you can use inside of LumaFusion, and I'll be talking about those in my review. So, man, yeah, that's kind of where that's at with LumaFusion. It's been crazy. Actually, being able to resize, I do this a lot, where I resize my audio, or resize my timeline and things like that. It's just fluid. It's great. It works well. There's so much that I want to dive deep in with LumaFusion 3.0 update. But if you haven't got it, the fact that it's a free update is so crazy. I mean, they're really killing it over there at LumaTouch. Let me keep going, and let's get back to these questions. So yes, Steven Tucker is, he asked, if you put an AUV3 filter if you put an AUV3 plugin like Fab Filter and select the preset, will it trip out? And I'm thinking he's talking about inside of LumaFusion. So I have had some glitches where some plugins don't want to work as well as others. And so I'm testing those right now so I can recommend the best ones. And I have had some Fab Filter ones kind of trip out. The ones from Mixbox CS from IK Multimedia. I really want that to work, because that's a AUV3 plugin that I use quite a bit. And that seems, it works, but it's kind of glitchy. And I think it has something to do with the compatibility with, these plugins, and how just kind of how robust they are. The simpler plugins, excuse me, the simpler plugins work well, but the ones that have multiple layers and multiple graphics, things like that, sometimes they can get a little glitchy and glitch out. But that's not to say with updates from either FabFilter or any of these other companies and LumaTouch, you're going to be able to really get some seamless presets that you can build yourself. So you can just hit that star button down here and, really have something dialed in. That's already set up as your preset for audio, and then you have a one-stop shop for just hitting a button. Your audio is going to be clean like that, and you're ready to go, and you're just going to keep on moving with your edit. So so it's crazy. It's game changing. Super chat from JMC. Thank you again, brother. He's asking, man, Henny, I wish on the day Apple brings Logic Pro to the iPad, you should be on stage showing the heat. Hey, listen, I do too. I really want that to happen. But like I said, I have to practice less fear and more patience. So I got to put more of my content out there showing all that it can be done from, my expertise. And, hopefully I'll have that happen at some point. Let's just put that one out there in the universe. Thank you, JFC, for the super chat. Hey, Chord Master, thank you for dropping in. How much is Luma going for? That's Disco Wolf. I believe it's $29.99. Let me just check that out for you guys real fast. But listen, if you are not hip to LumaFusion at this point, there's nothing better for editing on iOS or iPads. Yes, $29.99 is how much it costs. At the present time. I'm not sure if they're going to be doing a sale anytime soon, because I know that 3.0 just came out and they gave that away for free. They have had updates in the past where you needed to do, kind of like in-app purchases, and they have some more in-app purchases coming soon for like the director's pack and other things like that to give you even more like multi-cam support and things like that. So, man, I'm ready for it. Mixbox, Joshua K. Mixbox is definitely a beast. Tristan Stokes, thank you, man, once again for the super chat. He's asking, have you or will you do a Cubasis 3 mastering tutorial on Patreon? I just joined yours. That could definitely be something that we talk about on the Patreon channel. And let me do a quick shout out to all my fellow patrons who's been supporting me. We're going on week 16, week 17, I believe. And every Friday at 3 p.m., we have an hour call on Zoom, and we talk about everything, iPad, iOS, life journey, work-life balance. It's been an incredible experience building relationship, and we have an amazing time every day, every week for an hour, just talking on Zoom and being able to see one another. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to start my Patreon channel, is because I've been building so much relationship with you guys, via my, IG or YouTube, Twitter, everything else. And I sometimes it's, going through text back and forth is cool through comments and DMs and things like that. But being able to see you, being able to talk through a community has been game changing. So yeah, it's crazy. And shout out to all those who've joined and stay up on my Patreon channel. If you want to look at more, it's, patreon.com/Henny the Business. That was the plug. So Jared Loy asked, do you think that the Beats Pro over-ear headphones are good enough reference headphones despite it being a little bit more bass boosted than others? Reference headphones, sure. Mixing headphones, I wouldn't do it. I would, for my mixing headphones, I've been using my Shure Aonic 50s and my Audio-Technica ATH M50Xs, and I've been using those for years, just to get a balanced sound. And then when I have, as well as my monitors and things like that, if we're talking all around sounds. BJ, B Jamming Since Birth, thank you for stopping in. I appreciate you guys joining as long as you could. But yeah, like for referencing your music and your mixes and things like that, have as many pieces of speakers, headphones that you can, because once you get it sounding good in a very flat sounding set of headphones, you want to try them on something like Beats headphones with extra bass. You want to try it on your AirPods or even your old school earpods. You want to try it on, different speakers or car stereos. Specifically, if you're going to already, put that out there in the universe and you want it to make sure that it sounds, kind of sounds similar in all these different devices. So definitely try that. I would not say that, it would be a bad idea. Just know that, okay, this is what it sounds like when the bass is boosted, or this is when it sounds like when the mids are boosted. On certain, all these different headphones have different frequencies and the way they kind of set things up. And so, yeah, that's what's going on. Adnan124 is asking, can you do more videos about beats and audio recording? Yeah, sure. Coming up. I want to be making sure that, for those who understand my journey and understand my expertise in the music industry, I want to give you as much information as possible. So, I am definitely trying to give you more information. And, for the past month or so, I had to get back to the music. That's kind of why I had to do the Silent Beat Making Season 2 and just keep putting those out, is because, I'm a music producer first. And, for the last year, I just wasn't as inspired to create. And it was bugging me. And so I had to just sit down, put the keyboard in front of my face, and just start doing what comes out and giving it to you guys. And so that's literally what I do. And I usually record every time I'm making a track. Some are trash, some feel pretty good, and I put them out. So it doesn't always work, but that's how I had to get back to it. And I had to bring back that to the community, and the tutorials and, some of these other things are coming up real soon. But yeah, Nate Dixon was definitely adding on to the fact that that's what we did back in the day. We would burn a CD and play it everywhere. That is fact. So yeah, man. Joaquin B is asking, where do you send those beats when you say edit, send? They go a lot of different places. A lot of times they just go in my audio share, and I send it straight there, AirDrop, or just send to my audio share folder. And I'm cataloging these because I've been in the industry long enough to know that I'm not super pressed on just trying to get like placement in the placement game. One of the things that I want to be able to help with music producers, songwriters, or the like, is to change the narrative for the music producer in the future, because we're the first ones to have to come up with the ideas and the creative process, and a lot of times we're the last to get paid. And from that, we're definitely not getting everything that we should. And I want producers, songwriters, beat makers to get more to be more of the process. And so for me, I want to do as much as I can with the music that I have, but I want to make sure that the relationships that I'm doing it with the people with are correct, and I feel good about them. And I'm at that place where I can be fortunate enough to not have to send them out every couple of weeks like I used to, just send beat packs out here and there and just hoping that somebody would bite. I'm past that point in my career. So yeah, Take Cash Productions, he's asking, what cameras do you use to film your videos? And so for the longest, at least the last year or about a year, I use Sony. What you see me right now on is the Sony A7C, and that is with the 20 millimeter 1.8 G lens. And I basically have this just sitting on my desk, ready to go whenever I'm ready. So I am loving the way that Sony has, made enough cameras for the right budget for you to be able to do what you need to do. And the fact that their autofocus is just crazy. I can definitely recommend any Sony camera that's come out within the last year or so, starting all the way back to the CV1, all the way up to the new ZV-E10. I haven't played with it yet, but I know that, you can definitely get tremendous quality, and you can get a really good look out of these cameras, and you don't have to spend thousands of dollars to make it happen. So that's what I'm using. And, for my audio, I'm using the Deity S Mic 2, and that's going into my Audient Evo 8 that I have underneath my desk. And that's kind of how I run my audio. I run it separately than my video, and that's how we're doing this. So boom, that's what we got going on. Yeah. Turtles, what's up? Is asking, hey, Henny, do you have any simple tips to stop the cycle of making loops and building out full beats tracks? Well, here's the deal. Like, I make loops a lot of the times, and I make full tracks a lot of the times. It depends on what your needs are. If your needs are to get out there to sell full tracks, then you need to take those loops and you need to spread them out, right? You need to be able to take those loop ideas, spread them out, and think of them as a song. What would the intro be, right? Just think of it as a song. What would the intro be? What would the verse be? What would the chorus or the hook be? And, regardless if it's a 4-bar loop, an 8-bar loop, at least start from that point of taking that full loop of all those sounds, spreading it out on the timeline, and just taking stuff out and bringing stuff back in. And then just, see what that feels like, export that, bounce that, and then bring that back into, whatever folder or whatever thing that you're using, and just try to make, records that people can write to, people can, rap to, people can sing to, whatever. And that's how you're going to take your loops and turn them into more full-on compositions. And then from there, you can see, okay, well, maybe I need to add a little bit here for a bridge, or maybe I need to spice up the hook, or maybe I need to bring in a different element for the second verse. You won't know that until you do subtraction, right? You add all these stuffs up, all these sounds and all these ideas out, you lay them out and you subtract, then you add a little bit more and you balance them out. So that's my tip. That's kind of what I've done forever. And hopefully you can get that, but it's basically off. What is your goal? Is your goal to get to more songwriters, songwriters and artists? Or is it just to make sure that you can do full out tracks? You know what I mean? Seth Martin, what's going on, man? He's asking, do you have any suggestions for real instrument sounds inside of an iOS DAW, working with MIDI files, looking for big orchestra sounds? So I don't know if you've seen it in my recent, in any of my recent, hold on, I'm sorry, I'm doing too much over here. Any of my recent silent beat making videos, but yeah, there's, what is this joint called? iSymphony. Hold on, let me find iSymphonic, I believe is what it's called. iSymphonic. Pull that up. Why is that not working? iSymphonic is definitely one that for orchestral sounds that sound really good. Sound good enough for me to want to use them. And I look for high quality sounds all the time. So yeah, that's what I would look for playing MIDI orchestral sounds. Check out iSymphonic. Let me see if I can show you what it looks like here. Why can't it? All right, let me just try to pull it up one time fast. iSymphonic. Boom. See these betas, messing around with these betas. It's not pulling up. Don't worry, I'll pull that up soon. Yeah, so that's the one. Or Swan. Yes, Nate Dixon said, check out Swan. Now, Swan can be a little bit more on the expensive side, but their sounds are insane. They had a sale going on, I believe, last month or something like that. They're great as well. So check out Swan. Yes. Okay, man. Damian Miles asking, am I going to try Microsoft 365 Cloud PC? Probably not. It's just not, I'm not, a PC guy, nor am I a Microsoft 365 guy. I use a lot of Google Docs and Google Drive and things like that, or I'm using the Apple products for a lot of, what I need that for. And so, I don't necessarily think that I'm going to use a PC in the future for things that I'm doing, but I'll definitely be checking for that and see exactly if it's a game changer or something that I need to be checking out. I'm going to go back to the some of these questions from earlier on in the week. My man Mark Sequence is asking, yeah, I know I've been gone for a while, but he's he just wanted to give me a shout out, and appreciate that, Mark. Let me hit another one. All right, the family dude, he's asking, if you were just starting out and only had an iPhone with one light, one mic, what would your setup look like? Would you? I would love to see how you do an entire video with just an iPhone. Shoot, edit, and post. Hashtag challenge. I honestly agree. I couldn't agree more. I mean, if you had just a phone, right, and being able to make content, whether it's on YouTube, whether it's on TikTok, whether it's on Instagram, whatever, how would I shoot it? A lot of times, if I'm going to do things with my phone, I'm going to make sure that I have a lot of light, because even the light that I have right now, there's a huge light right here, but it's only at 10% quality. It's definitely not enough light for my iPhone to really get a really clear image without you starting to see that grain. So if I had that and I had one mic, I'd probably get the let's see here, the Shure, what is it, the MV88 Plus, because it gives you the stand, and it gives you the mic, and it gives you the ability to get some clean audio. I've done a video on that versus the ZV-1, but you can do that, and then maybe a light like the Aperture. Let me see if I can bring this out. The Aperture MC, right? Something like this. You can definitely get a lot done with just these cameras on this phone. And then it's all about the content more than it is about the way that you have set up. And I would definitely shoot it in the normal camera app using multiple angles, whether it's the front facing camera, the wide angle camera, and you can do so much with your phone these days. Edit it on LumaFusion, specifically with this new LumaFusion 3.0 update, and being able to bring in the types of the editing that you need to edit your audio to make sure it's crispy, and you can publish it. That's what I would do. Something like this Aperture MC Lite, or and something like the MV88 Plus. It might run you a couple $100 to get that full setup and just get off the running. The biggest thing is just to go in and start and making content, and think about where you want your content to be and how you want your content to be consumed. If it's short form content, definitely use the shorts on YouTube, use the reels on Instagram, use TikTok. Long form content, I would stay with YouTube, and anything between a minute and 2 to 3 minutes, you can go in between YouTube and something like IGTV. So that's kind of my play on that. Let's keep going and see what's going on. Okay, so Jared's asking about the best affordable flat sounding headphones. Hands down would be Audio-Technica ATH series, whether it's the M40s, the M50Xs. I mean, for $100, you can definitely get great sounding flat headphones that can work in any type of mixing situation. Nothing else I would recommend under $100. Maybe even a little bit more if you want the M50Xs. But that's the Audio-Technica ATH M series, whereas the M40s, I think they have M30s and 40s and 50s. Yeah, and I believe a lot of people can chime in. Touch Tennis, sorry I didn't get back to you, brother, on the note that you sent me yesterday. But yeah, I'll definitely reach back out to you right after this. But he's asking, he said, I bought the Beat Studio in-ear headphones. What are you, am I going to get a set? I have so many headphones. I think I've narrowed it down to, I use the Shure Aonic 50s for all of the things that you see right here at this desk, because they're corded, but they can be wireless if I need them to be. So that's what I use here, most likely at my desk. If I'm out and about and I'm at a studio, or I need, some mixing headphones that have a good balance, I'm going to rock with the Audio-Technica ATH M50Xs. I've had those for years, and I stand by those. And then if I am on traveling and I'm on a plane, or if I want to listen to good music, or if I want to consume content on this iPad or on my Apple TV, I'm definitely using my AirPod Maxes. And then anytime I leave the house, in my sling is my AirPods Pro. So I have quite a few that I use for different scenarios, and that's just why I don't need any more headphones. I'm pretty good in the headphone department. So yeah, that's where it's at with me. And so Brian Montero is asking question: if you weren't a YouTuber, wish you had upgraded your iPad to the M1s. Blessings, keep up the dope work. Thank you. Nah, I don't think I would. Well, it's hard to say. Nope. Actually, the fact that I had a 2020 model, I probably would have waited for the reviews like most other people making such a big purchase, because we're getting to the point now where it's like buying a new MacBook Pro. And if you're getting everything with it, with the Magic Keyboard, with the upgraded RAM, with the upgraded storage, you're already in MacBook Pro territory. So, hey, I don't think I would have purchased this, given the fact that it's just not showing as much, like day to day. It's just not showing as much change from last year, and so I don't think I would, and that's just being real. I really like the screen. I really like to see, the high quality screen. I really like to see the fact that I really like the fact that I know that I'm future proofed for a while, but that doesn't really work for somebody like myself, who's constantly trying to review and check out the latest and greatest. So I don't really future proof anything besides the fact that I can pass these down to the family. So, it is what it is. Nate Dixon's like, yo, you probably should unbox it, give them away, or an old pair. Maybe I should, there's a lot of things that I'm thinking about, trying to review, and not just review hella random stuff. But I'll definitely think about reviewing that. I have boxes of stuff I still need to review still. And whether it's mics and headphones and adapters and things, man, it's a lot that I need to. But I don't want to just bombard everybody with review, because I've told myself, you got to have a healthy balance of doing something for yourself and then something for your community. And to me, something for myself over the last month has been the silent beat making series. That's just me being selfish, saying I need to get back to the music, and I'm going to put that and give that out to the world. Let me not be so caught up in reviews and things and tech, and let me get back to the music, because there was so much opportunity there. I needed to get my chops back up. So, yeah, so that's kind of what it is happening there. But there's definitely more coming now, and I feel good about where I'm at, and I want to do a lot more, making sure that I entertain, educate, and motivate. So Cuddy's asking me, what monitor stands are you using to keep your iLouds off your desk? And these, let me see if I can pull up the Amazon order thing that I did. But it was like this whole kit. What is these? Let me see if I can pull it up real quick while I'm talking. But this is a whole monitor arm thing. You got to check out Caleb Pike at DSLR Video Shooter. He does all of these ways that you can set up your stands and your key, your monitors, and all these things on your desk without having too much shake and wobble. And so definitely check out DSLR Video Shooter on YouTube. He's the one who I got all the ideas from. Let me see, monitor. See if I can bring this up. Yeah, so it's the Viozon. The Viozon. This is the adapter thing, and they have a whole bunch of products from Viozon, right? So if you visit the Viozon store, you can see that they have all of these different like mounts and stuff, right? And one of the ones that I got this broadband stand thing here, right? And so it comes with this stand, it comes with all of these arms, and then the fact that, like, if you can see right here, let me see if I can pull this up real quick, y'all. Damn, it's not really hitting. But you see where it says it has this phone holder and all of these connections. So the holder, the one that says holder down here, if you turn it flat, it fits iLouds perfectly. So I put it on a stand, and I used this thing called the holder that was part of this kit, and that was how I was able to use it. I wish I could show y'all without going crazy. Let me see. Nope, that's not gonna work. But that's basically what I did. I used two of those. I have two of those stands on each side, and I'm able to, do everything. So I took the light off, and then I used that stand to put my camera. So wherever you see where the light is, that's where I did the camera. Let me see if I can just go. Yeah, there we go. And so let me go back to that real quick. So that piece right there, like I took that off and I used that for where I put my camera. This piece right here where you see the phone is, I put it flat like that. So I put my iLouds on, and then I put monitors on each side, and then I used the mic thing for my mic. So that's where the mic thing is. So that's what I did, and that's what I used for getting my monitors off the stands. So Patrick Chang, thank you for stopping by, saying what's up. Thanks, man. G Brown, what's going on, bro? Yes, Tristan, Ulanzi does make a good arm as well. So yeah, I mean, all in all, yo. So Obscure Machines is asking if you and Dow Jones still work. My guy at Remix Hotel ATL around 15 years ago. So yeah, me and Dow are not in business anymore. That was my original business partner when we started the Business Productions LLC. We just went in different directions as we grew as men, and that just kind of happens in business. You got to realize that sometimes when you start out, you try to make sure that you can, you grow as a team. But if, for me, just to be completely honest with you guys, I knew that I had more that I wanted to do in my career. And it was leading me in a completely different direction. And that's kind of where this whole YouTube thing started. So we kind of dissolved our company, and, he's doing his thing, and I'm doing mine. So that's basically where it's at in 2021. But yeah, so that's what's going on there. But yeah, let me get some more questions popping off, and let's keep it rocking. Somebody's asking, Just Joe Music on IG was asking, what's a way you recommend practicing chord progressions? This is a hard one. So for me, people always asked about the chords that I learned how to play when I was a teenager. I didn't grow up doing music or playing like piano or anything early on in my life. I didn't really start playing music and piano. I started at 14, started doing music for the church choir, my youth church choir back in Washington State. And then from there, I had a guy who learned how to show me how to learn ear training, like physical ear theory for chords in the gospel manner. So, he would just show me chords, and, I was trying to figure out how to play certain songs that were on the radio, and he would show me those chords. And the biggest thing he showed me was what he coined the $1 million chords. And that's what you hear in my music all the times. And that's what you call the turnaround chords. And that's the chords in between, your major chords that you're going to play, your minors, whatever. There's those chord turnarounds. How do you practice that? Man, honestly, I got about 3 years of training from probably, or maybe 2.5 years of training from like 16 to 18, and I just stuck with that. I still transpose all of my stuff. I never learned how to play like live. I don't know what key I'm playing in a lot of the times. Just got to be real with y'all. I just learned what I learned, and from there, it was just one of those situations that it's just one of the things that I did. And so I practiced the chords that I liked, and the ones that I gravitated towards. So there's got to be a million people showing you different ways of how to play chords online. And just find those that you like, find the way that they're doing that, and learn those chords. And, you won't have any problems passing chords. Well, yeah, passing chords, turnaround chords. I don't know the real term. And I've been in the music industry 20 years, and I don't even care that I said that. My biggest thing is I always knew what felt good, And I always surrounded myself with those that were smarter than me and more and wiser than me. And so, that's just always been my thing. Do what feels good. And I just kept trying it, and I got good at what felt good and what my style was. So yeah, I mean, listen to those in the chat, because they're probably know more than me. And I think as I grow older, I just know what it is about what works for me and what I like. And one thing that was inspiring to me recently that really got me back into music was the Wasting Time by Brent Faiyaz and Drake and the Neptunes, because everybody kept sending it to me when it first came out. And I was sitting there and I was like, damn, this shit is hard. And I was like, it's got to be the Neptunes. And when I heard it and I knew it was the Neptunes, and I realized they had such a run in the late '90s, early 2000s. And then of course Chad and Pharrell, they did their thing separately, but then they came back, and then they're starting to create the same energy, the same vibes that they were doing 15, 20 years ago. It made me realize, like, don't get so caught up in trying to compete with those that are trying to do something new. Do what works for you. They did what works for them. And I was like, yo, why am I tripping? Like, what? Like, why am I trying to compete, with all the young boys on all the ways that they're using, Ableton, and using, FL, and using all these different things? Do what works for you and getting back to what feels good to you. And so that's what I did. And, man, I'm back. You know what I mean? There's opportunities out the ass right now. So things are going really, really good. And, to see, sometimes you can take a break, live life, and then get back to making music, making creative things happen. So don't be afraid to let go, live, and come back, and then do what works for you. So yeah, man, and so you know what I mean. That's where I've been, and that's where I'm at with it. People are asking, am I a part of the Recording Academy, and what does that mean? And yes, so I am a governor for the Atlanta chapter of the Recording Academy. That is the Grammys here in the United States, or around the world. And I am the diversity and inclusion ambassador for Atlanta chapter. And so one of the biggest things for us is to make sure that we give the opportunity to all those, whether it's gender, whether it's race, age, anything, making sure that there is opportunity to get involved in the Recording Academy, because it's not just about the Grammys. There's so much more. And I would continue for anybody out there who is interested in maybe becoming a member of the Grammys, and you are maybe a professional in the music industry, or you're a musician, and you've done some placements. Man, look into it, because it's another great way for you, or even a student, to level up. And we want to make sure that we're definitely getting back to giving as many people opportunity as possible. So yes, I am a part of the Recording Academy. I am the diversity and inclusion ambassador for Atlanta, and that's just another thing that I have going on. So that's what's going on there. Man. Turtles is asking, do you listen to a lot of music these days? I try to, and I try to get hip to what's happening. I listen to a lot of playlists on Apple Music and things like that. Try to see who are the new artists that I maybe haven't heard of. But I also just listen to some of the things that have inspired me over the years. So yeah, it's a mix of both. But for years I've took a lot of time to not necessarily always engulf myself in the newest of music, unless I'm really feeling it, and just do more about what feels good and what things I want to bring. I do listen to where the music is going, though, right? Like chord progressions or drum programming, or is the tempo starting to change in the way people are consuming music, right? All of these things are ways that you can make sure that you stay current. And that is Disco Wolf, thank you for joining in. I appreciate you. And so yeah, all of that is a thing that I'm truly trying to figure out when I'm listening to music, making sure that I stay current. And so yeah, I do listen to quite a bit. Let's see here. Thank you. Oh, Wheezy, you have really been creating quality music lately. I truly appreciate that. I feel it. And when you feel it, like, when you're back on your game. And I had to get out of my head. I think there's something to be said about, like, when you're too in your head about things, and you don't just let it go and just let it happen. And a lot of times you're already anticipating what somebody else is going to think about the music that you're creating while you're creating it. It's going to stop you. It's going to block you from that idea or that sound that you wanted to use. Specifically, if you aren't collaborating and you're just in somewhere in your studio and you're set by yourself, there's going to be those moments where you're like, I don't know if somebody's going to feel it. I don't know if get that out of your head. Do it for you. Do the music for you first. Always do the music for you first, because I can only tell you that, like, when you do it for yourself first and you're confident in the music that you create, the energy just pours out. The frequency just relates. And when you pour your passion into that music and then you give it to the world, people can still feel that energy that you felt inside of you if it's true and genuine. So, I'm definitely a fan of just doing it for you. And it's easier said than done, given the fact that we're so caught up in trying to get placements. We're so caught up in trying to get people to like our stuff, but you have to like it enough to make people agree with you. And some of the best and most accomplished songwriters and producers that I've met and known and of our time are the ones who truly believe in their stuff, more than the ones who just feel like they have some cool stuff. Because if you can sell it, that's all that matters. Just sell it. Sell your energy, sell your vibe. So yeah, man, I'm on a roll here today. I'm feeling it. Let's keep going with these let's see, with some more comments coming in. Tristan's asking thoughts on companies like United Masters. I think that's a great approach for ways to get your music out there, ways to start to figure out. I love companies like United Masters. I love thinking of new ways to be in this industry, because I'll tell you, this industry is definitely changing, and the way that people are putting themselves in position is getting easier. Well, I don't say easier. It's getting there's more and more options, and so another company like United Masters being able to help songwriters and musicians get their fair share, get their just due, get their opportunities up. I'm loving it. So don't ever think that you need to have to sign to a major or have to do things the normal route, because nothing is normal these days. And let's take it for real. Nothing is really normal these days, specifically what's going on in this world. So I love what's going on with United Masters for sure. Oh man, Theo or the Eminem. I don't know how I was supposed to say that. What's good, bro? Enjoying your content, man. Watching you from Germany. Could you do a competition with your community and the winner wins a jam session featuring with you? I'm down for that. And that's some of the things that we are starting to work on in the Patreon as well. Is one of the tiers that I have in my tiers for Patreon is called the mentorship. Yep, I coined that one myself. And making sure that it's not, it's an investment for anybody looking to really collaborate with me, do other things, get one-on-one coaching, but to take it a little bit step further for those who might not have that capability to invest. I think it's $50 a month to be a part of the mentorship. I've started collaborating with other, guys on my Patreon channel, things like that. So we're working on making sure that I can do that. But having a competition for this community would be insane. I just have to make sure that when I do it right, because there's not a lot of gray area with me. It's either up or down, right or left. It's either hot or it's not. I don't, if I'm going to do it, I want to do it correctly. So don't count me out on that. I think that's something that should be coming up in the near future. G Brown, what's up, brother? Thank you for being a Patreon member, and thank you for the support always. He's asking your favorite artist and favorite producer. Man, that's hard. I don't know if I have a favorite. I think it's crazy to think about, like, who's the dopest, who's the hottest. And I saw something on the shop or the talk, something where they were talking about like the top 5 MCs, right? The top producers, this and that, and how, in hip hop generation, like we're multi-generational in this music, in this genre. And there has to be more tops. Like it can't just be the top 5 of all time. What is my favorite of all time? It's very hard because I could say when I started out, my favorite, of course, well, I wouldn't say of course, but my favorite producer was Timbaland. And this is like 96. I heard Aaliyah 1 in a Million going, headed to choir practice to church. I will never forget. And I was like, what type of drums are those? And what is that? I didn't even understand that drum programming. It just felt so different than everything else on the radio. I was like, what is that? How do I do that? And I was 16 years old. And, one of my favorite artists, it always man, I don't know. There's so many. I mean, over the years, I've studied the greats because I wanted to be great like them. And it came down to learning about the full person and not just their career and everything that they've done, because you can't just want to be a great producer, one of the greats. You can't just be somebody like that and not think about their whole life and what they had to go through. And if you want that type of lifestyle, if you want that type of family life, if you want that type of whatever, right? All of it, you got to think holistically about these people. And that's kind of how I started to look at being a great person, and realizing that, there will only be one you. So you might as well learn from as many people, be appreciative as many people as possible, soak up as much knowledge as you can from anybody and everybody that you can, and then do you, and then just do you. So yeah, man. Oh shit. Cuddy's asking, yo, can we get a Henny album of some sort? Beat tape album produced by you. Yes, I'm going to do that. And that's definitely going to have to happen because I can't see my journey not having that be included. It's so much that I want to give to the world. And a lot of it is just going to have to be based off of timing. And right now, there's so much other things that's going on. Like I said, maybe I'm too much in my head still too. Maybe it's a situation to where I'm like, how am I going to do this? What's the right way to market it and put it out? Is it going to be, sometimes you just got to put it out. So yes, I will do that. Count me on that, Cuddy. It is happening. Appreciate that. Hey, BP Parker, what's up, brother? Listen, some of these guys that I've known for over 20 years in this chat. And I appreciate all of my brothers and knowing exactly what's happening. And they support me and I support them. Brooks Brackett is asking, hey, Henny, what's your work-life balance like? Do you ever feel as if you give one more attention than the other? Yes, that's just kind of how it works. And I've talked about this many times. You got to prioritize your life. You got to prioritize what you want in your life. And you got to realize that you can't have a full-on work-life balanced day, right? Like it's never just going to be perfect 50-50. Work is here. Life is here. I did 50% of my life today. I did 50% of my work today. Today is great. Maybe some days actually work that way and it feels like that. But you have to look at your life. And for me, how do I work it? Of course, my family comes first. So if there was ever anything, that was related to my family, I will drop every single thing like it's nothing. I don't care if it's the most important thing in my career. If it was, going to the Grammys knowing that I could win, or the birth of my child, like, yo, it's the child. Like, what are we doing? You know what I mean? So it's like you got to realize, like, in life, where your priorities lie and what you want out of your life. And so I had to think like, well, having this type of work-life balance in my life, it might not yield all the results that I wanted in a career. And I try to make sure that I'm okay with that, knowing that I have to put some days more into my career and the things that I got going, but I communicate with my wife and my children, making sure that they understand that, this is a grind season right now, or this is the time that I really need to spend with my family. Like the last couple of weeks, I was on vacation doing work for a few days and then doing family for a week or so. But it's all balance. It's not going to be balanced every day. It's just understanding and understand where you're at in it. If you're like, if you have to go overcompensate, and if you have to overcompensate in one way and make sure that you do more on the other, it's just like, okay, like I've been working on my arms lately. It's time to do some legs now. Like, like let's work on some legs. Now it's time to get back to my arm. Now it's time to do some cardio. Everything is about making sure that you're giving yourself enough time to realize that work-life balance is a daily thing. It's about time management and communication with those that you love, so that you make sure that you don't get so caught up in a career or anything else like that that you lose track of what's really important, if that's really important to you. So that's kind of how I work it out. And yeah, hopefully that answered the question. Let's keep going. Man. All right, man. Okay. Karsten Sherry, my bad, brother, if I messed that one up. But good to see you on live, my fellow light-skinned, bald-head, bearded brother. Yes, sir. What's been the impact of you being mentored and you mentoring others? How important is that with accountability and success? So I always think that you need in your life, specifically as you grow older. Sorry, y'all, I'm getting hot. Y'all know I'm getting hot. Where's my fan? Like when it comes to having a mentor and being a mentor, you do have to be very, you're looking for accountability for those that you're looking for. And I say that, but you also want to make sure you hold those that you are mentoring accountable to the things that you are trying to teach them, whether it's making sure that they're on it. Like another thing that we talk about in our Patreon channel is accountability, and making sure that we, help each other out and know that we can all learn from each other. Even as a mentor, you can still learn from those of your mentees, and you can't get that messed up. You can't think that just because I'm the mentor, I know everything. No, I'm constantly going back and forth. So it has to be a constant communication. And for those that are mentoring me, those like my father, those like, my uncles and my big bros and things like that. I'm constantly, asking the questions and asking them about their life, because a lot of times you're going to learn from their stories, their journeys, the things that they went through. Sometimes it's not always about that one question, but how was it? I had a conversation with my pops, or a conversation with my father-in-law or something like that. And I'm asking them, how were they when they were in their 40s? I'm in my 40s. What was life like for them? How did they work on their work-life balance? What did they do to make sure that they could take care of their families? What struggles did they deal with? I'm asking those questions as somebody that I'm trying to look up to. And even in business, talking to those who've been super successful, like my brother Steve Hammond and others, when we asked him about, the journey that he's been on for his career, and we just ask those stories so that we can learn from their stories, and maybe make sure that we can learn from that. And as we pass that down to other people, as you mentor others, you can take some of those stories, pass that down, even though it's not your story, and then share your stories, but keep it accountable at the same time. Because if I tell you something and we work on something, I'm expecting that you're going to start to pick these things up, and that you're going to start to really try your best to believe in the things that you want for your life. So yeah, that's that, that's where I'm at with that. But man, all in all, y'all, I think I got about, I was going to do an hour and a half here. So, I've got about 10, 12 minutes left. Is there, let me see if I got all the questions from the everything else answered. But man, I really feel good about where I'm at. I want to make sure that I do offer more tutorials. I want to offer more entertainment value, things like I do with silent beat making. But then I also want to give you, the motivation things, because it's not easy. It's very tough out here. It's to be a content creator, to put yourself out here all the time. You got to really build your thick skin, because people will come for you, and you got to be ready for that. But then a lot of people will show you love, and I think you get what you put out there. So you put out a lot of love, you're gonna receive it, and just know that that's what's going on. Nelson, I don't even want to try to do your last name, my brother. But are you uploading your beats to any website? Whoops. Okay, my bad. Princess, thank you for being a Patreon member as well. Are you coming to ever do the album of your music? Yes. My music will definitely be being put out. And so I guess that goes along with Nelson. Are you uploading your beats to any website? I'm not. And I feel like a hoarder right now, and I just have a whole bunch of music that's being stored. But I'm being patient, with making sure the right opportunity and the right time. Because I could just keep putting stuff out, and I probably should put more things out for those to enjoy. I think I just have to get it in my mind to just release music and not think of it so much like I'm putting out an album that needs a single, that needs a video, that needs this and that, because that's what I'm brought from. That's what I come from. And I don't want to, I need to get out of my head. It's a different time. I can put out the music. I can put the things out. So literally me talking to y'all is talking to myself right now. I know that I need to put more of my music out there to the world. And, there's more placements coming. There's more opportunity. There's a lot of things happening. I'll tell y'all that. That's one of the biggest things that's happening right now. Yeah. So, man, BP Park is asking, yo, can we find that Jay-Z Blackout album remake that you did anywhere? I need that. Man, I wonder. I'd have to look. But if you look, so back in the day, I went by Jay Hen. Of course, my government name is Justin Henderson, for those who don't know. But I switched over from Jay Hen to Henny. So if you look for or Google Jay Hen, Jay-Z Black Album Encore, I don't even know if it's anywhere anymore. I probably should look. But yeah, I'd have to see where that's at and if it's still on any platform. But yeah, I did that. It actually got a good run. And that was one of the first things I did put out there back in 2004. Yeah, or Metaphication. Yes. Metaphication is definitely a project that I did. It was an instrumental project that I did back in, I think, 2006. Man, and then, Karsten's asking regarding releasing music, where can we find that track you did with Jonathan Morrison, featured 2 years ago with me and Ken Lewis? I haven't put that one out either. I thought about doing that as an NFT. I was not sure if I was going to do that or not. It was a special moment in my YouTube career because that really blasted my channel into a whole nother level. And so definitely shout out to TLD today, Jonathan Morrison, and inviting me out that time. That was crazy. Hey, if it's on Napster, that's what's up. Somebody shared a link in the chat. Mendez, what's up, man? Thank you for the constant support. Just wanted to say hello and thank you for all that you give. It makes a world of difference. Mexican food on me when you're back in the desert. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Mexican food is some of my favorite food that I love. I appreciate that. Mikhail, how do you, let's see here. How do you think how would artists or beat makers earn money on music in the nearest future? There are a lot of artists, and it seems to me it's difficult to become successful in a huge competition. I think that's with everything, especially with content creation, putting yourself out there. Yeah, I've come from the standpoint now that it's not about just being a musician anymore. It's not about just being an artist or a beat maker. You got to look at yourself holistically as a content creator because you're basically making content and you're putting it out there. I don't care if you're making beats or you're doing songs or you're writing. How do you make your money? You got to think of yourself as a brand. And when you do that, you'll be able to think of selling yourself and all the things that you do. So if you're putting your music out there on any of these platforms, if you're building content around some of that music, if you're collaborating with other people maybe that are not in music, that put your music in the back of their videos, regardless of whatever it is, you got to think of all the opportunities there are right now to be able to collaborate with others, right? To be able to put as much type of content that you can and use these platforms as best as possible. One of the things we talked about last week or the other week that my man Cuddy talked about, he's doing a lot of things on IG and he focuses mostly on Instagram, is the fact that when when you use just one platform, something like Instagram, you can build your business in 4 or 5 different ways. You know what I mean? You can build it from posting on your feeds and start to build up a following there so that you might be able to get sponsors and things like that. You can start going live and doing things like that and doing the whatever the way that they're starting to pay. I forgot what it is as I'm talking now. You can start doing more reels to get more attention to your audience. You can start doing more long form content and showing how you're making your music. All the things that you're doing, you can build this opportunity to build this brand, to build a company so that more people can see you. So you can't look at it as there's so many other people doing it. Yes, I mean, most kids from the ages of 10 to 18 want to be in content creation. And so you're going to see an influx of hundreds of thousands of kids every year trying to do this, trying to make this. And we're still here trying to figure it out. The biggest thing that you can do is think of it like, it's a business. I can build it. There's a million burger stands out there. There's a million people trying to sell hamburgers. But if I got something to give to the world, there's going to be enough if I put it out there in the right places. So think of yourself as a brand and not just an artist in 2021. Figure out how to put your all your stuff out there as in many places as possible. Build your business up, and constantly collaborate with those that you know and those that you don't, so that you can reach bigger audiences. And I promise you, over time, if you let go of that fear and you practice your patience, you'll see some great results. Boom, badges. Yes, it's called badges in IG Lives. Thank you, Cuddy. Man. Where do you, man, the real Martinez asked, where do you see yourself in 10 years? Yeah, no, it's okay. If I didn't catch your comment before, the comments is coming in crazy and I try to look over and grab them. But in 10 years, wow. I know that for a fact, I want to be an even bigger position to give. Because I know that part of this journey of mine is not just for me. Is for giving opportunities to others, and from the umbrella that I'm creating with my business partner Kennard Garrett and our whole company Westview Drive, we focus on education, technology, and music, and I want to be able to get very very intricate in all three and be able to give more and more opportunity. And you gotta get to give. You know what I mean? You don't have to. You have to get knowledge. You have to get things. You have to have things happen to you so that you can give that away. And I know that I will be so much. My content will be so much stronger. I'll be more adaptable to change. I'll probably, hopefully, be a lot more patient, and my career will continuously take off and go up to more levels because I've constantly believed in myself and constantly invested in myself, and I've seen nothing but a trajectory like this since I was 19 years old, and this is what I wanted to do. And it has not just been like this. It's been like this, like that, like this, like that, like this, like that, and it just keeps going upward. So I just know that over time, it's going to be even bigger. It's going to be even better. They're going to be, I'm expecting bigger things to happen. So yeah, that's kind of what it's broad, but I think of things now just about the way that I want to be able to be remembered, more so than all the accolades that I've received. If I was to, pass and something was to happen to me, who's going to be able to say that, I was able to touch them or I meant something to them or whatever. And that's because I'm giving. And that's because I'm lending myself to, to be a vessel to be able to give to people the knowledge that I've obtained. So that's where I'm at in 10 years. That's where I'm at today. It's not going to change. Boom. That's where I am at with this. Man. All right, let's get a couple more in before we go. Nelson's asking, how do you listen to music nowadays? Do you purchase or use music library? Or you simply use a music streaming service like Apple Music, Spotify? Creating playlists on Spotify, it's like a hobby for me. So I gave up Spotify a while ago. I use YouTube Music because I'm on YouTube and I use that platform, and I use Apple Music a lot. And I use the streaming services as well as Audio Share, the app that I use to listen to all of my stuff, because sometimes you got to go back and listen to the stuff that you created 5-6 years ago just to see how far that you've come and know exactly. So, all of my music, songs, ideas, loops, whatever is all in here. A lot of it is categorized in folders and things like that. A lot of it isn't, but I catch new vibes on streaming services and when people recommend things, and then I listen to some of my older things. You know what I mean? So that's basically where I'm at for that. Yeah. So, man, one more question, and I'm gonna get up out of here. Let's see if I can find it. Boom. I don't know. Anybody last questions? Last questions, hit me. But yeah, all in all, I want to thank you guys for tuning in and supporting me through this last 90 minutes, man. I promise y'all, my energy is good. I'm back. Like I said, I want to be able to just help others and do better for this world. And don't get it twisted. I understand that with great responsibility, has great sacrifices with it. And so I'm trying my best to give as much as I can to those who need it when I have the time available. Once again, if you haven't checked out the Patreon, check that out, because that's where I've been spending a lot of my time, because it might not be 100,000 people in there, but the community and the build and the relationship builder that we're creating in there is amazing. And I appreciate every single one person who is invested in me to be a part of that community, and we're doing it. So thank you to everybody who tuned in, and we're getting right back with the LumaFusion tutorials, with the beat making tutorials, some more silent beat makings coming up. And yeah, it's just been flowing. So I appreciate all of y'all, man. Karsten, thank you, man. Not a question. Just want to say appreciate you, brother. Thank you. Nate Dixon. I know, man. These 90 minutes just flew by. Hey, BP Parker, thank you, family. Hey, man, it's my brother right here, man. So I thank you, man. Ivan, thank you so much, man. G Brown, thank you. Man, Nate Dixon, thank you for tuning in the whole time. Obscure Machine, thank you so much for that. A lot of this is just being yourself, man. Just be yourself. And I know it's hard to say, it's easier said than done, because we're still learning ourselves every day. But that's just basically it. And, that's where we're at in 2021. So catch me soon. And if y'all want some more of these lives, man, let's keep it going. Y'all let me know. Yeah.